The Three Little Pigs. Once upon a time there was a mother pig who loved her three little piglets very much. One sad day the mother pig died, leaving behind a tidy inheritance for her little piggies. Solemnly with heads bowed, the piglets filed 1, 2, 3 through the door of the office of Mother Pig's estate executor.
Excuse us, but we're looking for the offices of B.B. Wolf, Esquire, to hear the reading of our mother's will.
Come in, my three little pigs. So good of you to come all the way to my office after the sad departure of your dear mother pig. Would you care for some coffee? A Danish? My girl here can get you anything you need.
No, thank you, Mr. Wolf. As you know, the loss of our mother has been awfully hard on us, and I'm sure I speak for all of us when I say we just as soon get this will and probate thing all handled.
Of course. What was I thinking? Naturally, you would want this whole unfortunate time behind you. I must say, though, while I have all three of you here in my office, that Mother Pig was one of my favorite clients. She was so prudent in her investments. I was most fortunate to be her legal and financial advisor for these many years, and I hope that perhaps I will be able to assist her family for many more years to come.
We appreciate all the help, Mr. Wolf. We truly do. But now's not the time to talk about any future plans.
Future? That's exactly it, though. Your dear, sweet Mother Pig wanted you to be just as prudent and responsible with your futures as she was with her own, which brings me to the will. Aha! Here it is. The last will and testament of Mother Pig.
Mr. Wolf began to read aloud the last will and testament of Mother Pig.
Of sound mind and body, do hereby declare.
The terms of Mother Pig's will were simple. She had left her entire estate to her three little piglets, to be divided equally among them. There was one provision, however.
And now, my little piglets, Mother Pig's estate is to be divided between the three of you. No strings attached, all taxes paid. So if you'll just sign here, here, and here, and that's it. All the necessary papers have been completed, and the money will be distributed in a few weeks. Any other questions? No?
I guess that's all.
All right, it's been a pleasure.
One final provision of Mother Pig's will had not been read to her piglets, a very important provision.
But if anything should happen to my dear sweet piglets, then I leave all of my estate to my trusted friend and advisor, Mr. B.B. Wolf, Esquire. Oh, something will happen all right, Mother dear. I've got something in store for those three little pigs.
The next day, Mr. Wolf hopped into his very expensive, very Italian sports car to begin the first step of his dastardly plan. Mr. Wolf had come to the beach where he knew First Pig, the youngest of the three little pigs, would be hanging about.
Dude, could you move out of my sun? You're blocking my rays and inhibiting my prime vitamin D absorption rate, man.
Of course, my apologies.
Hey, is that you, Mr. Wolf? I didn't recognize you with my shades on. Pull up a square beach and soak in this beautiful atmosphere with me.
No, thank you. I just came...
Or man, I could run to the shack, get you a suit, we could catch a few waves, wiggle our hooves in the sand, you know. Just enjoy being alive, man.
No! I meant no, thank you. I think I've got enough sand in my loafers now to build a castle. And these were brand new from Italy.
Whoa, man. All that complaining about your stuff is killing my vibe, man. Quit worrying so much about what you own and start worrying about who you are.
The first little pig continued her lazy ramblings about the earth, the lifespan of bees, how to properly cook quinoa, and about other notions that Mr. Wolf could not have cared one whit. And all the while, Mr. Wolf's lacquered smile became slowly more and more sinister, and his growl grew louder and louder.
And that's why I only eat what's locally grown, you know, man? Because with the hormones...
Enough! Enough of your crazy, selfish mutterings. Look at you. You know you've wasted your whole life basking on the side of one beach or another. Your poor, dear Mother Pig has always made excuses for you. First Pig is just finding herself. First Pig is so carefree. First Pig is the most creative of my three piglets.
Whoa, dude, that's getting way too personal. Your vibe, man.
I'll tell you about my vibe, shall I? My vibe is telling me you were a do-nothing, worthless bum, and Mother Pig's money is wasted on the likes of you.
Whoa, man, you've gone too far now. I understand you might be upset, dude, okay?
First Pig stood up from her beach camp and shook the sand out of her towel, which promptly blew all over Mr. Wolf's hand-tailored suit.
I know my mother was important to you, but you gotta watch your tone, dude.
Mr. Wolf stood there steaming with fury as First Pig walked a little stone path on the beach to a thatched little shack. First Pig opened the door and turned to Mr. Wolf.
Come back some other time when you're more chill.
How dare you? How dare you? You let me in this instant. I won't be dressed down by a no-account bum like you. How dare you think your free-thinking, layabout lifestyle gives you the right to lecture me about how to live? How dare you?
Mr. Wolf was so crazed by this time that he had not noticed his yelling was swaying portions of First Pig's shack, and that each exhalation by Mr. Wolf was bringing the thatched shack closer and closer to falling down.
And if your mother hadn't been blinded by her love for you, she would have been better off burning that money than giving it to you.
What the dude? What did you do to all my stuff?
And with that, it was done. Mr. Wolf had blown the thatched shack down and promptly gobbled up First Pig, bones and all, in less than a few bites. Mr. Wolf found that although he had devoured First Pig whole, his hunger and greed had not abated. So Mr. Wolf jumped back into his very expensive Italian car and drove to the home of Second Pig, which was a lone log cabin sturdily built in the woods.
No. Can't go in there looking like this. I can't go in there looking so guilty.
Mr. Wolf did his best to straighten himself out, as not to frighten Second Pig by his appearance. However, Mr. Wolf should not have worried so much.
Hello, Second Pig, hello.
Whatever you're selling, I don't need any.
Second Pig, it's me, Mr. Wolf, your mother's attorney. Don't you remember me?
Mr. Wolf gave his friendliest of waves and grinned towards the video camera, which hung in an eave above the door. For a brief moment, he thought the door would open, but instead heard the intercom crackle at him.
All wolves and lawyers look the same. Get off my property.
Come on now, Second Pig, you know me. You were just in my office last week. Let me in, will you? You know me for sure.
Listen, mister. The only thing I know for sure is going to happen in this life is death. And taxes. And you don't look like either of them. Don't think I didn't see you drive up here in your fancy foreign car, in your fancy made-up suit, and I just knew that you were going to try and get me to buy something, sell something, or talk me into something that I don't need. All I need is my cabin, my supplies, and my woods. So take your slick suit and get off my porch.
The wolf watched the light of the video camera go dark as Second Pig turned off the porch light. Wolf heard Second Pig returning to her survivalistic chores, making steel drums, wood stakes, building shelves, canning vegetables, or whatever it is that survivalists do in their spare time. The wolf realized that Second Pig would never let him into the log cabin because Second Pig would likely never leave the log cabin. There was simply too much work for Second Pig to do in preparation for the zombie apocalypse that was never going to happen.
Wait, there's nothing in the field guide about this.
And with that, the wolf had blown down the log cabin and quickly ate Second Pig, bones and all, in a few bites.
One more stop and my wallet will be as full as my stomach.
Welcome. Everyone come in. Welcome to Third Pig's Coffee Shop and Boutique. Yes, tonight's open mic night. Unlimited refills on our house brew, organic slop, made with fresh roasted beans, fair trade, of course. Of course we have soy milk. No pumpkin spice. It's not that season yet.
Oh, hello there, Second Pig. Fancy seeing you here.
Mr. Wolf? Hello, yes. This is strange, but, I own this coffee shop. Surely you knew that.
Did I? Of course I did. And what a charming shop, too. Charmingly built right into the side of this charming little brick brownstone. Truly charming.
Are you all right? You don't look so good. Your suit is all disheveled. You're getting sand and wood chips all over my front entrance. And I hate to mention this, but you're drooling, Mr. Wolf.
What? Sorry about that. Must be my allergies. Too much of the outdoors for me, you know. My hay fever is acting up. That's probably why I look so strange.
I see. Well, I'm sorry. I can't invite you in for a chat, but tonight's open mic night at the shop, and as you can see, we're very busy.
Now, I've driven all this way from out in the country just to visit with you. Surely you have a few moments to spare? We could speak in your back room so the customers won't be bothered.
I'm sorry. I can't. I'm due on stage now. Thanks for stopping by.
Why, you rude little pig!
Thanks everyone for coming out to our third monthly open mic night. As you know, the proceeds of tonight's door cover will go to help buy new seeds and plants for our community garden that's just down the street from here.
By this time, the wolf was quite confident in his house-destroying techniques, as he'd successfully blown down the houses of the 2 previous piglets. So imagine his surprise and utter frustration when Third Pig's brick shop did not collapse beneath the weight of his mighty roar. The wolf supposed he had not blown hard enough. After all, he had spent a good bit of the day already huffing and puffing, and he was already starting to feel a bit faint. So he gathered up all of his strength and sucked in as much air as he could. All the while, his heart was rushing and beating into his eardrums.
Little pig, let me in!
Thank you. That was a recitation of my own poem, which I call Not by the Hair of My Chinny Chin Chin. Looks like we have a storm going on outside, folks. But no worries, we're all safe inside.
The wolf's face seized up, his face a contortion of greed and anger, as he collapsed in front of the Third Pig's brick shop. And with that, the wolf died, For all his indignation, his greed, his huffing and puffing, the wolf had failed to take into account the limitations of his own body and how to appreciate the choices of others.
The kind of eyes that drive